Hello everyone, you've tuned into Business Today TV and I'm Akanksha. Today we have with us a very special man, a man who needs no introduction, David Gower. Thank you for joining us, sir. So, sir, a question our audience wants to know a lot. They put it up in the comment section. What's with the hair? Where's the hair?
There are some things that we have no control over.
Okay.
And actually, it's been extraordinary. The last couple of days since I've been in Delhi, lots of people being very friendly. Lots of people remembering great times, obviously a long time ago, and wondering where is all the hair? All the pictures I'll be playing had, lovely blonde, flowing locks. I'm afraid time has done its thing. And I've had to restyle, and if you want to look for the hair, it's in many different countries now.
All right, sir. How do you remember India? Like when you go back home and people ask you, how is India? So how do you remember it and how has it changed over the years?
Well, India now is incredibly different. When I first came in 1980, and we had a week, 10 days in Mumbai with one test match to play, it was, for someone like me, 23 years old, an eye-opening experience. We stayed in the most beautiful hotel, that iconic Taj in Mumbai.
Yeah.
So the Gateway of India right there, this lovely, lovely hotel. But the moment you walk outside that front door, into the back streets behind you, a very, very different world. And for people like me coming to see that for the first time, it's extraordinary. It's something which we've never seen before. So over the years, I've come back to India many, many times, spent months at a time here. And we've been from the big cities to the little cities. We've been to the tiger reserves. I've experienced so much around the country that I'm never going to claim I understand it fully. But I've read books like City of Joy. I've read books like Shantaram, which explain a lot of it, parts that I would never see. And there is now what you might call an endearing respect for India from what it was, where, again, let's face it, just one really good example. At the Taj Hotel, great hotel, in 1980, to phone London could take you 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
Now we all know, everyone, 800 million people have a mobile phone. You pick up a phone, I'm through to London in seconds. And that is just one example of the huge surge of technology and development that we've seen in this country since.
All right. So what are your views on IPL, the Indian Premier League?
The word I've used for IPL is phenomenal. It is a phenomenon. From what it was when it first started, it has gathered pace, it's gathered momentum, it's gathered money, it's gathered absolutely everything. It's got a huge audience, we know that. So as a brand, it is enormous. And it's transformed cricket around the world. One of the great things I think it's done is bring young Indian players through, give them the experience of playing in front of huge crowds, which is the sort of pressure you have to live with as an international player. Let's face it has grown so much that it is competing on a level basis with international cricket.
Wow.
Now, whether you like that or not is a big discussion. Simply because people like me who treasure, for instance, I treasure my career as a test player.
Okay.
I know the figures as a test player. I can't remember the figures, anything else. I know that someone like Virat Kohli a few years ago was saying how important test cricket is to him, and he would treasure at the end of his career, whenever that is, his test match figures. But there's a generation coming through now, and we're starting to see this. Cricketers with immense talent who only ever see a white ball. They never see a red ball.
Okay.
They might go through IPL. They might play T20 cricket for India.
Yeah.
They might never play a Ranji Trophy game. They might never play a red ball game.
Okay.
And yet they could become the stars of the future. And I would hope that there is a way of keeping a balance between, as it were, the old and the new, keeping the traditions, keeping the great things from the past, but allowing the new to flourish as well.
All right, so you just spoke of change right there. How do you think that the business of cricket has changed over the years?
Without being too venal about it, the one single thing that keeps changing year by year is the amount of money coming into the game. I looked at the figures for instance, IPL's new TV deal starting in 2023. It's over $6 billion. And that's for two companies vying for live cricket, plus digital rights, another, more millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So that in itself is a big change for cricket. When I first started my game, we had no TV rights as such in England. The BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, had the rights for nothing, for £1. They just thought they were doing us a service by putting cricket onto television. Now, of course, the UK is an example way behind in terms of figures. So, for instance, Sky will put in £200 million each year now for the next 4 or 5 years with Test cricket, domestic cricket, the 100, the Blast, which is still, that's £1 billion over 5 years. So still, what is it? Yes, $4 or $5 billion behind IPL alone. So there's a big difference. But it means that money around the world is coming into the game. It means that players will finish their careers, whether they play red or white ball or both. Players can finish their careers after 10, 15 years with money in the bank, and they can be satisfied both as performers and as wage earners.
All right, so that's a very insightful conversation. Thank you for taking out the time. It was lovely talking to you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.